about productivity. So here, productivity needs some motivation at the first. Job performance, then ability. So knowledge, skill, and individual needs, psychological, social, egoistic, physical conditions we have, lighting, temperature, ventilation, rest periods, safety, emic, union, leaders, type of leadership, autocratic, close of supervision, production centered, democratic, general supervision, employee centered, participation, coordination, planning, skill, and motivational knowledge, relationship with superior, goals, and the informal organizations we have. Then we have to set some goals. We have communication, promotions development. Some formal organizations, we have personal policies, work schedule, job design, recruitment, selection, placement, introduction to job standards, training, paid salary levels, job evaluation, pay rewards, incentives, employee evaluation, and management by the objectives. Organization efficiency, leadership, and organization structure. So, aptitude, personality, education, experience, training, and interest, technological development, raw materials, job layout, methods, on the job and off the job activities, perception of the situation, level of aspiration, reference group, male, female, cultural background, education experience, general economic conditions, individual personal situation. So this is time and changing values of societies. The factors directly influence productivity. So to introduce technical improvements and give appropriate training to the workers, greater the degree of mechanism to be introduced, the greater is the need for the capacity. So here we are going to see the various trends in operation management in today's lecture. Apart from that, we have some productivity basics. Yesterday we were dealing about the productivity. In that we are going to see what are the factors influence the productivity. So firstly, we are going to see how directly this productivity is influenced. Directly, if you're going to say the technology development, raw materials, the quality of raw materials, job layout and way of methods, directly they are going to hit the productivity and motivation of the employees' performance, ability of the employees, and social conditions, skill and knowledge and ability of the workers, individual needs, psychological, social, and egoistic needs. After this, physical conditions are also have some impact on the productivity, like lighting. So, as in case of Hawthorne experiments, we would have seen how that author or the engineer has gone for checking the experiments how the people are going to work with ample lighting and with a good lighting conditions. So in the same manner, this temperature, ventilation, rest periods, safety, and music also plays a vital role in the productivity. And unions also influence the productivity. Leaders or the people who are going to have some impact on the productivity. Informal organization groups, formal organization groups, they also have a next step influence on this. And we have influence of on the job and off the job activities, perception of the situation, level of aspirations, reference groups, male and female, cultural background, education, experience, general economic conditions, individuals or personal situation. So coming back to type of leaderships, the leadership, different types we have, laissez-faire, autocratic, democratic participation. This also influence on the productivity. So relationship with the superior, planning skill and motivation knowledge have influence through the leaders. So informal organizations depends on the size, cohesiveness, and setting of the goals. We have formal organization wherein we have high communication, promotions development, employee evaluation and management by objectives, MBOs, payment rewards and incentives, job evaluation, wage salary levels, training, introduction to job standards, recruitment selection placements, job design, personal policies, worksheet. So organization efficiency, leadership, climate, and organization structure will be there in the formula. So here the people should need the knowledge and skills and should have interest. They should get trained and they should have experience and education. So these are the factors directly influence the product. So we should concentrate on the direct things like technology, raw material, job layout, and methods. And we can have the physical conditions and few leaders, formal, informal organizations, characteristics, and employees' job performance, their motivation levels. These are the broadly of the performance differences in productivity. So we'll see the operation strategy reflect four perspectives, that is top-down approach, bottom-up approach, market requirements, and operation resources. So here, top-down approach means the top level people will be framing the policies and doing the research, and they are going to set the policies and they are going to drill down to the function managers. They are going to set the objectives and they are going to frame the policies. Implementation of policies will be done in the function managers. Next level, they will be uh, doing setting the goals and daily activities. They are going to break down with them. So from corporate strategy to the business strategy, that is called as top-down approach. And bottom-up approach means operational experiences, emergent sense of what the strategy should be. For that is bottom-up approach. So at the operation levels, they will be having the brainstorming sessions and they will be asked to submit the report regarding what can be done in order to improve or develop the particular product or the particular service. Then from the feedback of this operational managers, it will be going to the function managers. Then it will reach the corporate. Then they will be making the policies. So there are two types of operation as the strategies. One is top-down approach and bottom-up approach. Next, we have the market requirements, mostly what the market needs, because we need to prepare the products to that particular market. That is the quality, speed, dependability, flexibility, and regarding costs. These are the market requirements. And operation resources, we have the capacity of the organization, the development and process technology, supply networks, they'll be concentrating on. Because all operations transform resources into inputs, resources inputs into outputs of products and services. This is called the input transformation output model for operations. Some resources inputs are actually changed or transformed, usually some combination of physical materials, information, and customers. So predominantly a television factory processes materials, a firm of accountants process information while the theater process customers. So the resource inputs are classified into physical facilities like buildings, machines, equipment, computers, etc., and the human resources staff who operate, support, and manage the processes. Most operations produce both products and services, but some, such as aluminium smelter, mainly produce the products with only the peripheral service element. Others, such as psychotherapy clinic, produce almost pure services. All types of forward operations, say manufacturing and service. Total produce accommodation, services, financial services. Investor moves sellers money and investment opportunities, and manufacturing businesses physical change the shape and the nature of materials. Although these businesses are from different sectors, banking, hospitality, manufacturing, etc., it's a very similar set of issues and problems. In fact, there are often differences within economic sectors than between them. So this is regarding the approaches, and very, very important, manufacturers versus service operations. So everyone should have a rightful information about differences between the manufacturing and service, how they are differed. Convert inputs like materials, etc., into tangible outputs. Services operations also transform inputs into outputs, but the outputs are intangible. Manufacturing operation allows separation between production and consumption. But in services, customers receives the service as it is performed. That there is a production as well as consumption of service at the same time. Production is easily measured like productivity in manufacturing operations because these operations produce tangible products. Here, productivity is not easily measured in service operations because the outputs of service operations are intangible. Expenses required for material handling is more in manufacturing operations. Expenses required for material handling are less as compared to manufacturing operations. Coming back to customers have less contact with the people who provide manufacturing operations because it will be done at the factory level and then it will be sent to the down. From there, you will be sent to wholesaler, distributor, dealer, and retailer will be interactive with the customers. So the manufacturer doesn't have contact with the customers in manufacturing. Customers have contact with person who bought services. So here quality standards are relatively simple and easy to establish in manufacturing operations. Quality standards are difficult to establish and product quality is difficult to evaluate in the service operations. So manufacturing operations depend on maintenance and repair work. Service operations depend on maintenance and repair work. Manufacturing operations are flexible in manufacturing work methods and scheduled work. Service operation are inflexible because services are in direct contact with the customers and customers are part of service itself. Manufacturing operations can standardize and less customized. Service operations can produce outputs that can be stored. So these are the differences not only in the tangibility and intangibility, but the various things and manufacturing and service operations will differ in this manner. So now we are going to see the next topic. Next topic in this. So here trends in operations that we are going to see. Trends in operation management. The trends in operation management, we are mostly having the topics like supply chain management, manufacturing process, and total quality management. So these are three trending, most trending topics that have in operations that we are going to see now. So total quality management includes benchmarking also. The total quality management have business processing, engineering also, and they concentrate more on the quality at each level. The quantity should match the quality because market requirements we have seen now that is mostly concerned about the quality. So here trends, if you are going to see, even some waste management and production also we need to concentrate because absolute items, surplus items, and scrap items, and we need to see the managing operations. But true cost of this waste is not simply the cost of discarded materials, but it encompasses efficient, inefficient use of raw materials, unnecessary use of energy, the water, related products, waste disposal of byproducts, waste treatment, and waste. So here, waste management also considered as very important, as in case, as I said earlier, the trends in operation management mostly it concentrate more on supply chain management, total quality management, world-class manufacturing, and waste management. So in supply chain management, in the supply chain is a sequence of suppliers, transporters, warehouses, manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, retailers, outlets, and final customers. So the other day, I was taking the classical example of conversion of paddy into the rice. So physical distribution and logistics were involved, and it leads to supply chain energy. So it's a natural extension of the financial and finished products to the customers from re-engineering performed by the organizations in the past. So SCM in 1990s became popular because of various reasons, that is collaboration of production, inventory, location, transportation among the participants in the supply chain. So it acknowledges all the traditional logistics and includes activities such as marketing, NPD, new product development, finance, and customer services. Supply chain works on system approach to understanding and managing the different activities needed to coordinate the flow of products and services to the best to serve ultimate customer. It helps the organizations in participation in value chain. Quality refers to a parameter which decides the superiority or inferiority of product. Service quality can be defined as an attribute which differentiates a product or services from its competitor. So TQM is a continuous effort by the management as well as employees of an organization to ensure long-term customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. One most important point to be remembered is that one happy and satisfied customer brings 10 new customers. Naturally happens. Even we, when we are going to buy a product, when we experience the product, we suggest the people. That is word of mouth marketing that we do. So, along with him, whereas one disappointed individual will spread bad word of mouth and spoil the existing as well as potential customers. So some of the important aspect relating to the TQM or the top management commitment should be there. Focus on the customer, both internal and external. Effective involvement and utilization of the entire workforce. Continuous improvement that we are going to think. I was telling about Tata Sumo. The Sumo is the name given to a vehicle in the Tata group of an managing director, Sumit Mugulkar. So he was doing that continuous improvement, and he was striving very hard. In the lunch times, he used to go and interact with the drivers at the dhaba, and regularly he used to interact with the drivers and take the feedback of the vehicle performances and changes to be made. And he has done that. So continuous improvement should be there. Then only the management will be there. Treating suppliers as partners and establishing performance measures for these practices. So principles of TQM or customer requirements, meeting the customer requirements. Everybody must be involved. Regular two-way communication, identifying the training needs, top management commitment, already we have said. Every job must add value here. Eliminate waste and reduce total cost. Promote creativity, focus on teamwork. So the benefits directly from the TQM, you are going to say improved product quality, improved productivity, reduced quality costs, increased market and customers, increased profitability, reduce employee grievances. So barriers. So when you start implementing this total quality management, the barrier may be lack of management commitment, that is from the top level, lack of faith and support of activities, and failure to appreciate TQM, misunderstanding about the concepts, improper planning, lack of employees' commitment, lack of effective communication, lack of continuous training, lack of interest, ineffective measurement techniques, non-application of proper tools, inadequate use of empowerment. So this is the thing when you are going to go for implementing this TQM. So TQM, total quality management, is the new trend in operations. So next trend is the world-class manufacturing. So nowadays, many enterprises are managed instinctively without clear rules and principles. If the company wants to be successful, be among the first, it must continually improve all the processes and find optimal solutions for increasing both the efficiency and effectiveness. This path is not easy at the beginning. There must be a desire to become the market leader. So world-class manufacturing was first used by Hay and Wheelwright in 1984. So both authors described this world-class manufacturing as a set of practices, implying that these use the best practices would lead to superior performance. The term world-class manufacturing was first used to describe organizations which achieved a competitive advantage through use of their manufacturing capabilities as a strategic weapon. In order to deliver successfully a particular set of competitive criteria in the market, players based on the world-class manufacturing principles, a plant must use the appropriate manufacturing approach. So right manufacturing approach often runs in the following principles. One, delivering on the shortest lead time. So whenever you would have seen, as a consumer and as a customer personally, when I go for purchases or ordering or getting some services, I need to get attracted and interested towards having the short lead times. Always on time, a product with better features than those offered by the competitor. And it should be perfectly made, any design the customer wants, any volume he wants, be the cheapest in the business. So when implementing this world-class manufacturing concept, the companies need to understand and identify the critical factors that affect the implementation process and address them effectively to ensure benefits and avoid failures. Therefore, the need of a systematic and deliberate study on these critical success factors for implementing the class manufacturing is very, very important. So in this concept, we have reality in manufacturing settings, appropriate tools and methods like total productivity maintenance, TPM, and within overall equipment effectiveness, pull and Kanban system, continuous flow, visual management, teamwork, just in time, 5S, waste elimination, statistical process, control, SPC, zero quality control, parts per billion, that is parts per million ppm. So to implement all these, methods and tools is tough, but it is necessary to become world class. It means also to continuously search the improvements for the overall organization effectiveness. So, firstly, comprehensive approach or concept of world class manufacturing is an enterprise must have it defined in the strategy. The approach must become a part of defining and implementing the company's strategy. So, strategic goals that indicates the business performance. One, profit maximization, that is reducing defective parts per million. Ensure a safe workplace for the employees. Means that workplace should have less accidents because it's manufacturing. Increase capacity utilization, increase the amount of assembled parts, deliver to the customer products, reduce the time of delivery to the customers, reduce the price for poor quality production, cost of non-quality, continuous process improvement, streamline the material consumption. So this is world-class manufacturing. Next, we have waste management. Waste management plays an important role in managing operations. So there should be disposed of periodically and proper credit of amount should be taken in the books of accounts. The industrial waste and scrap consist of spoiled raw materials, rejected components, defective parts, waste from the production department, etc. involves some commercial values. A key development in waste management is the focus on preventing the production of waste through waste minimization and the reuse of waste materials through recycling. This links directly to the procurement issues where careful selections of materials, suppliers, and process redesign for disassembling and reverse logistics. So waste can be categorized into absolute, surplus, and scrap. Absolute items, these are those items, equipment and materials which are not damaged and which have economic worth, but which are no longer useful for company operation owing to many reasons such as changes in product line, process, materials, versions, patterns, and so on. Surplus items. These are those materials and equipments which have no immediate use but have accumulated due to faulty planning, forecasting, and purchasing. However, they have a usage value in future. Scrap. It is a wastage such as turning, burning, spurs, flashes. They may have an end use within the plant, having commercial values, hence should be disposed of periodically. So we have sources of waste. We have 7 sources. One is overproduction. If you are going to do the overproduction, this accumulation of these atoms. Transportation, unnecessary movement of the people or the materials in the process. Steps, transport causes cost and production. Rework, correction process within the main process. Over processing during more than the customer requires. Keeping a patient in the hospital for the longer period of time than medically absolutely necessary. more than unnecessary movement of people or the parts within the process. Inventory, too many flow units into the system, waiting the employees or resources just sitting around waiting for something to happen. So while the first five sources of waste are resource centered, what did the employee do? Did it add value or process? And the last two resources of waste are really expression of little law. Some scholars point out that waste of intellect, ignoring the ideas and applies for the problem solving and process improvement because of hierarchical concern can be very well seen as the additional eight source of waste. In production system, it tries to reduce all types of waste at once in commonly called lean production. So other trends in operation management, we have business process reengineering, lean and agile manufacturing, Six Sigma, and we have customized production, employee empowerment and involvement. So coming back to business process reengineering, it's a radical approach to designing core processes, take everything that you use it behave. So established by Toyota Corporation, the term that is lean manufacturer has become a mainstream trend in the industry. It is used interchangeable with just-in-time production. So this concept behind is a constant process in order to reduce waste and inventory. Agile manufacturing has its origins in the software development, but now it is used by various industries. The reason behind is to have life was growing complexity of processes and it is characterized by the development done in small increments. Six Sigma is a disciplined, statistical based, data driven approach, continuous improvement methodology for elimination defects in a product. It was developed by the Motorola and Bill Smith in the early 90s based on quality management fundamentals. So the approach was based on the methods taught by the Edwin Deming, Walter Shivra, and Ronald Fisher, among many others. Hundreds of companies around the world have adapted Six Sigma as a way of doing the business. So customized production in the past, there was a mass production where production was made in large scale with the standardized production to gain economies of scale. But with the increased flexibility and competition, now the companies are forced to customize their product based on customer requirement and techniques such as mass customization are used in doing so. So employee empowerment and involvement earlier, employees were treated as just another input to the production process where they were treated like machines and materials. The worker concerns were ignored. With the development of HRM, human resource management, now firms focus mainly on employee empowerment, that is, workers' participation in management, the involving them in decision process, where they treat employees as resources that bring competitive edge to the firm. In this concept, the worker concerns are heard, the organization make arrangement for their welfare and mental physical benefits. Further, nowadays, there is increasing involvement of employees in the planning process. Listening to the opinions of the workers often brings up fresh ideas, a different perspective on what problem should be solved, how to make the operation more effective. Reconfigurable manufacturing systems originally developed by the University of Michigan Colleges of Engineering Research Center. It evolves rapidly in order to adjust productivity, capacity, and functionality. Exactly the capacity and functionality needed, exactly when needed. Sustainable operations management, that is SOM, has started receiving attention from both the operations management and management science researchers. SOM has a potentiality vital role to play in contributing to solutions for the complex sustainability challenges confirmed by many organizations. So global supply chains to meet the increasing needs of customers in terms of flexibility, responsiveness, and cost. Behavioral operations management. This is also trending in research area studies. Impact of human behavior, especially non-rational decision making on the discipline. Because of its complexity and operation management is a field prone to frequent deviations in the problem solving. There is a solid interest to understand the most important factors that influence managed decision, as well as to make efficient problem solving. Green production is also trending in operations nowadays. In the past, the production was focused on obtaining resources at lowest possible cost and manufacturing at lowest cost, ignoring the damage made to the environment. Due to the initiatives by the environment pressure groups, companies are moving towards green production, green marketing, where they carry out business activities without damaging the environment by not destroying the natural resources, taking care of forests and wildlife and so on. So this is more trending nowadays, that is green production. So to have a summary, in the global market, companies are right to focus on trends in operation management strategies for getting ahead in the respective industries. So these are the latest trends in operation management. So we'll concentrate now on product and process selections. So how the product selection is being done, because already we were talking about automation techniques, that I was talking about CAD, CAM, CIM, that is flexible manufacturing systems, and robotics. This will be coming in this. So in this, we will be speaking about the product life cycle, process life cycle, and process selections, factors considered in the product designs. So normally the organizations today are under pressure that ever before develop new goods and services and processes necessary to produce and deliver them. Two of major causes for this increased emphasis on developing new products are increased competitive and advances in the technology. So these are triggering the organizers to go for new products. The organizer gets so many benefits by introducing new products faster, and some of them are greater market share, price premiums, and quick reaction to the competition. With the trend towards shorter product life cycles, successful company must be able to continuously generate new product ideas, convert these ideas into reliable and that are functional designs that are user friendly, ensure these designs are readily producible and select the proper process that are most compatible with the needs of the customer. So it is challenging, but it is very needed. So ideas come from many resources. They come from unorganized resources, and the ideas may come from organized resources. And the ideas also generated by the competitors and salesmen. There are special techniques of idea generation like attribute listing method, mor- morphological analysis, brainstorming sessions, Delphi technique or Delphi method, and problem inventory analysis. So product selection process starts with the pure research, applied research, then new product and marketing research idea generation techniques. So ideas are not immediately converted into products. They are subjected to a screening process first. So there will be a critical evaluation of the product ideas. Means that will be the funnel technique. The product ideas should satisfy customer needs, sales volume, profitability, company image. They should be consistent with the marketing objectives and organization objectives of the company. Screening will be done with checklist method or rating method. Once the screening is over, they undertake a detailed business analysis of the ideas. Mostly this is financial analysis. Consists of break-even analysis, cash flow analysis, based on decision theory and risk analysis. Product development is the next stage at which the product idea takes a concrete shape with all the attributes which the customer desires it to the process. First, of course, on a small scale, a prototype is developed. This is preceded by the careful engineering aspects like development of drawings and designs or laboratory methods. So as in case, you can quote a classical example that if you want to build a building, first the blueprint of the building will be drawn on the page. So like a prototype is so developed until it comes close to the consumer preferences. Product development does include the process and development of the new design and testing. Later, it is tested in market and commercialized. So, new product idea mortality curve is utilized since the NPD research in 1969 by Booz Allen and Hamilton, PAH, and continuously been used to compare the new product's idea screening over time. Each product idea has to cross several hurdles before commercialization. At any stage, we have to abandon following the further stages of new product development. It is a go or no-go type of decision at each stage. The product idea mortality curve is graphically representation of this simple principle. We start with a number of ideas. Initially, screening itself reduces them. Funnel approach, almost half or even less than that. Business analysis leaves us with a 3-4 ideas to be worked further into prototype. The development reduces them till finally only a single product is left. So product development continues after the commercial introduction of the product throughout its life cycle consisting of stages of introduction, growth, maturity, decline. The stages in product life cycle. Of course, an organization also modifies Me Too products introduced by others as a part of development effort. Innovation scale. Extreme point is that major technological breakthrough like the introduction of nylon transistors, microprocessors, radio transmitter, laser, lithotripsy for kidney and gallstones, oral polio vaccine, etc. Such breakthroughs may bring about an altogether new industry. We await now major breakthroughs in the field of genetic engineering and biotechnology, cancer therapy, AIDS therapy. All this is a result of basic and applied research and later on development on commercial scale. There is a major thrust to technology advancement in recent years. We are all in for a future shock. New product development has 6 stages. So this is very important. Funnel method, generation of ideas, initial screening of ideas, technical evaluation, commercial evaluation, final product development, launching of the product. Even though you studied them in detail in marketing manager course, they are explained very briefly in the following paragraphs for you. So these already you know about this product idea mortality curve. So the last one idea will be taken and it will be launched. It may take some amount of time. So this graphical representation, product life idea mortality curve, has number of candidates, that is idea generation, and number of years. So whenever you go for standardizing the products, so factors to be considered in the product design is one, standardization. When you buy a new electric bulb, it will scroll with the socket, all right, because the bulbs are standardized. There are only few kinds of base mode. Standardized is a word that denotes that there are only specific sizes made and sold. So two concepts, that is standardization and merits of standardization. Standardization means the non-standard items will not be made except when the customer orders them specially. Merits of standardization, it reduces the kinds, types of size of raw materials have to be bought. This lets us buy and so get the lower prices per unit. Standardization limitation is that in the markets there is a demand for low volumes, high variety. In such a situation, rigid standardization is not the solution. The right approach could be to design a range of products that share parts, people, and production process. So modular design, in order to get pursued variety, designers resort to modular construction. Products are made mostly out of easily detachable sub-assembles and sections. When an item fails, they take out the whole component of which it has a part and put in a new component. Later, they can repair and remove the unit and throw it up. Modular design is used extensively in the computers. Besides, different combinations of modules give a new variety of products. For instance, 4 dial shapes, 4 different colors, 2 dial movements, Two dual sizes for each shape gives us 4 by 4 into 2 by 2 into 2 by 2 and 64 varieties of wristwatches, till making some standard modules in the large modules. Form and function design. Product design deals with form and function. Form design deals with the product shape and appearance. Functional design deals with how it works or performs. The need for functional design is obvious. The product has to work, otherwise it is useless. But how necessary is form design? When the customers have no basis of functions, eye appeal wins. Even many machinery makes pay attention to form design, though functional utility is still uppermost. In most situations, the trade-off between form and function, the design and production cost should be kept in the mind, the production cost. Designed for volume productions, mass produced items used to be designed so that they can be made at low cost. Pots are so designed that they can be put on machines for processing quickly. Quality and speed is built into tools. Sub-assemblies are used for assembled products wherever possible. Precision of parts is of utmost importance for high volume products. Repairability, easy repair is important in the product design. Too much obsession with appearance sometimes comes in the way of easy repairs. Redesign. Each product made can be improved by redesigning. Frequent designs are, however, avoided. There is, however, no constant design. Changes in design over a period of time are inevitable. Miniaturization more eloquently condenses the philosophy of miniaturization. An army expression says, if your product is room size, make it desk size. If it is desk size, make it portable. When you can't shrink it anymore, pay twice as much power into it. For industry in general, we can say make it smaller and lighter in the weight. So laptop, computers, palm top, or example for miniaturization, palm V, successors, palm 3, the earlier model. It costs around $450. It uses rechargeable battery, which lasts about 24 hours between two charges. Yes, it isn't always so. Not everyone has to miniaturize. A half-side bed isn't much good to full-sized person. And a desk has a straight desk size and a book size, typewriter and calculators cannot be made smaller beyond a certain extent. We won't be able to use them. So, but even where you can't miniaturize the whole product, it may be paying to miniaturize the parts. Miniaturization is very important in electronic, is partly